Hello and welcome to Cipheros. After learning some basic Python concepts as beginners, it would be better to apply them on a real life project, instead of just look into the abstract and most theoretic things. I mean something that we will use on our real life, building a program that is useful for us. In the end, we learn by connecting what we just learned, on our everyday life stuff. Today we're gonna learn how to build a cloud widget with this programming language, and integrated library called Tkinter. This allows us to build graphical user interface as known as GUIs, to interact with the code instead of only reading like a text on our choice-based program we did on past tutorials. So by the way, I want that we can speedrun this straight to the point, but obviously we want to understand the things. So we will go right there, explaining those concepts, but getting always nearer to our object, that is obviously this app, called Chronos. That if I open it, we will see this widget, and I can move it and set it where I actually want, and that's all. Seriously, this looks very aesthetic. Also, another beautiful feature that we have here is that we can change the font that we are using on our widget. So that's actually awesome. So let's start with this, but actually before getting deeper and deeper with the project, we are going to understand it, because it's better to that than just writing. Obviously, because if we just follow the tutorial, it will be not learning. What we are going to do is to get the time with a Python function, for after setting them on this text. As you see on the text, obviously, on the case in which the minus and seconds are smaller than 10, we will add a 0. If we don't add them, for example, that will be shown 3, 4, 5, but we are actually adding this 0, and the same thing happens with the minus. To show this Friday and November as strings, we actually had to assign those numbers, that they represent to an array, and we will understand it along the project. For the transparent background, what we did was just assigning one color. One color, in this case, it was white, while the color of the texts are not white. It's a little bit less than white, and that's because it is shown as almost white. Finally, to open this settings window, what we did, assigning the click, the left click on the window to show this, and that's all. That is pretty all. The same thing is if I quit it, with the right click button. So let's start. I will open Visual Studio Code. I assume that you know how to use Visual Studio Code. I have this chronosmath.py. I will just do it again, and that's all. I will just recreate it, with maybe some features. Import Tkinter, as also import font, and here import time. Tkinter basically is for Tkinter import everything, and the same thing import Tkinter font as font. We understand it actually. So let's start with putting some variables. For this we have the default size. Actually it's just for replacing the 100 and making it more aesthetic, but for now we have that. The x scale value is 0, and the y scale value is also 0, while the initial font family is Boa Mill, shown at the beginning of this video. And let me copy paste this comment to say that everything below this are the functions, and for now this is what we're gonna show. So let's continue with this. A screen TK. What's this? It's basic. TK function is an integrated one, that comes by default with the library, that allow us to build a window, and that's all. Then on the variable screen we will add dot, for adding the attribute, WM attributes, the transparent color, white. What is this? Is for the white color with the transparent, and that's all. Everything that is gonna be white is gonna be transparent, The screen geometry, the HD resolution, as you see, plus the x scale value plus the y scale value. I mean, to the 1920, it will add the x scale value, while on this 1080 the y scale value. And why this f? Because it contains variables. If it does not contain variables, it perfectly this f, and yes, this geometry is defined as just full HD. But for now we will let it so. The screen config background white screen override right direct true is for eliminating the upper toolbar, and once done this we can create a text for the time and day, but well, it would be something related with the font. For now the size is gonna be the default size. What is the default size? 100, okay? And the family Bobamil. It is not related at all with the initial font family, and the day font is just something similar, but the difference is that we are gonna divide it by 3 and making it an integer. It does not matter if, for example, our division is by 2 and we don't set integer function. Here is that interesting stuff. We are gonna set graphically our fonts, okay, on the screen, and with this label function. So our variable is called time label, and we set label where on the screen on this take a function. The text for now we will write it, okay, as a format time. It's the function that we are gonna create. The background white means that it's gonna be transparent. The font color is FFFFFE. If it's completely everything F, it will be white, okay, but it's not white. Something really similar to white, but it isn't. That's because we are actually see that text as almost white and not transparent, okay? And the font is the time tag that is here. That is defined over here. We're gonna do the same, almost the same thing, okay, with the format time, but format date. We are gonna create these functions over here. Def format time, parentheses, double dot, I don't know if it's called so in English, but it doesn't matter. And the same thing with def format date. Just we have to fill obviously these functions. And finally for this part, we write this. The screen dot main loop. Why is this here? Because of graphing all the written code. So let's go over here. The format time. We're gonna write 4 variables. Okay, one is for getting the entire time. The other will be for getting the hour. The other for the minutes, and the last one for the second. So let's write, and we're gonna write local time, parentheses, time, other parentheses. Okay, this is for getting all the time, okay, the current time, and that's all. Hour, minutes, seconds. For doing this, we just have to write the variable, okay, the dot, mt hour, empty mean, and empty set. And as we explained it on the understanding the program section, okay, at the beginning of this tutorial, if my note is less than 10, the new my note, okay, will be that the number, okay, that is shown, okay, plus or concatenated with the 0, just for aesthetic purposes actually. And this is the same thing with the second. And we have actually to define what is gonna be displayed if we use this function. Okay, so we write here a string hour plus 2 dots plus a string minutes seconds, and yeah. And really it's not so different if we just write over here with a format date. Okay, we set a variable, okay, in this case it's a current d. Let me just select this over here and set this d on uppercase. Okay, and we get this time, local time, year, month, current d, tm month. The number day, it's gonna be current d, tm day. Okay, and weekday, the same thing but with weekdays. What's the difference between these? Basically the number week is for getting, for example, the number of the day within the month. Day is 10 of November, and that's all. But while the weekday is basically an example, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, etc. And you get it. All of these are actually numbers, okay? The year is number, and the number day is also a number, but the month and the day of the widget are not numbers, okay? As you see, we get Friday, November, no 4 and 10, okay? As these are on our arrays. So we actually must set arrays to assign those values on them. And it's not complicated, okay? I did actually the work before, but understanding it is just day list. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, while the month list, all of these abbreviations on that array. So the output once we use the format date is this: return day list plus, just avoid the space, string number day, another void space, month list, month -1, another, and year. We are gonna explain. The day list is this, all of this array. So if today is 4, for example, on this array it's gonna be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's Friday. Okay, day list is this array, weekday is a number, and we get. But why do we subtract -1? It counts January as the 1. Here on this array, it's not the number 1. It's the 0. It's counted as the month 11, okay? But on this array, it's not the 11. It's the element number 10. So count with me, no? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the weekday, it's not counted, but on the month, it is. And just we string these things, okay, for making it as text, and that's all. Once done this, we can assign some mouse movements, okay, with some functions at the bottom of the code. Okay, so for now we will write here screen angular parentheses button 1, okay, that is for the left click, and what's gonna be activated with this is the settings, okay, settings function. And for the other side, we get that if we click the button number 3, we'll quit, okay, quit these new functions. We will write other ones. For now, we can let this and to write these new ones, no, settings, okay, parentheses, double points, I don't know how to say it, okay, and def quit screen. Here we go. Obviously on the quit screen is easy to understand, no? Screen, quit, parentheses, and that's all. While over here we are gonna do a lot of stuff, okay, with a new window, configurations, etc. But for now we are going well. With this function, basically what we can do is to create another window. Okay, settings window is equal to dk. Okay, it adds another window, and its title is gonna be settings, while its icon is gonna be icon.icon. Okay, and its background white. Over here we can see that this is the icon. Okay, this is the file that we are referring to. Okay, and yes, once we can do this, for example, no, this is our current coding result. If we run this, we will get something just like this. Okay, so we must change here. It's now empty. It's TM actually on our minutes and seconds. And over here it's the same thing, okay? Minute and second. Here, okay, minutes and second. Here, font. That's all. I don't know why I am forgetting many things, okay? 10 label place is equal to, okay, does not matter here. X scale value and Y scale value, and the same thing, we're gonna do this, okay, but with a date label. These lines of code are basically for setting them. Okay, label is for okay, display it on the screen, okay, but here is where are we gonna display it. So closing these functions and this one also, and opening this again, we can see actually that when we do left click, okay, it says settings like 0 positional arguments, but once was given, okay, and that's because we didn't set this attribute event, and here also, despite that it is not shown as working, okay, because it's not highlighted. Its brightness is not like 100%, okay, so it is useful to indicate to the Python interpreter that something is gonna happen when this function is activated. So, okay, opening this again, we can see, okay, and yes, this is our settings window. Even icon is not defined. So down here, we are gonna write font label, label settings window, where is it set, background white, and text choose your font, okay, it's for obviously picking the font that the user wants. And for example, why is this WM attribute transparent color white not working on this settings function? It's because it's a new screen, okay, it's a new window, completely different than the main screen. Okay, here we are attributing the screen variable that transparent color is gonna be white, or white is the transparent color actually, while on the settings window it's completely independent. Also down below, we're gonna write for input entry, okay, that's for inputs, it's not complicated to understand, entry where on the settings window. Now we have only to consider that we must grid it, okay. Placing and gridding are different methods, okay, to set stuffs on the window, but to understand this, placing is like more flexible, okay. Gridding is like using row and columns, etc. and here understanding is like on the row and column 0, and we're gonna get this text, okay, choose your font, while right words will get this input, okay? Each of those with their padding, no? Okay, we must solve this. Okay, we did it, and yes, it's looking pretty well, by the way. Just make sure where is located your file. Now we are gonna create again some labels related with the position, the X and Y position of the widget. In X label settings window, it is where, okay, background white, text, we are gonna write position X, okay, and here the variable, okay, escape value that is gonna be changing, okay, along with the user's preference. And why this F? Obviously because we are using a variable, okay, it's like make this string flexible, as I guess that I said before, no? Yeah, over here. The same thing is gonna be pasted here, okay, just with some changes, obviously, for the scale value, position Y, etc., and that's all. And now the most interesting thing, okay, what is the scale that we are gonna use? So here we write x scale, okay, as our variable, but the most important thing is to write this scale function, where on the settings window, obviously, window, comma, and we're gonna write over here this, okay, orientation, horizontal, okay, length 125, and that's about how many pixels it's using on the screen, okay, because writing this parameter called 2 is actually what it's gonna measure, okay, so it's gonna be approximately 1020, okay, and obviously show value false is not for showing the value, background white, it is understandable. Repeat this same thing, okay, just with the y scale value, obviously, and we keep it horizontal. Don't misconcept it that the y value is the vertical, okay, this is just the scale, so the scale is gonna be shown just like this, okay, and not like this, and that's just for measuring, it's just aesthetic concepts. And its value is gonna be 600, and just we must read in them. Okay, understanding it, all the stuff will have the padding 10. Don't hesitate at all. But here we are writing no X label and the X scale. Both are gonna be below, okay, on the font label and input. As just and understanding where it's gonna be located, the X scale is rightwards, okay, to the X label, and that's all. You can see right here. Okay, choose your font. This is the input. The position X is for now 0, okay, because that variable is 0, and this is the scale, okay, it's horizontal, its background is white, and its length is 125 pixels. What is it measuring is from 0 to 1020. Copy paste it here and apply some logic. This is the Y scale and label. I say it vice versa, but that doesn't matter, on the row number 2, and that's all. Here we go. West position Y, this is the same thing. Finally, for not showing a empty input, we're gonna set the current value, okay, the initial value as default. We must write the font input, insert here n, comma, no, initial font family, and that's all. And as you see, choose your font, Boba Milky. We can change it whatever we want. Finally, for this section, we actually must apply those changes, not so make a button that actually does it. I'm gonna write here apply button is equal to button. Where is it gonna be located? Okay, set this window right here. Text, I don't know, apply changes, and obviously a button must do something. So we are gonna write here command, okay, and for now it's gonna be apply dash changes. We copy this, apply button dot grid, okay, we are gonna grid in it. We'll set it on the row 5, for example, and at the column 0, okay, it doesn't matter, but the column span, that is another parameter that for now I will not explain, but we can get the idea, the concept that it's for centering it. Okay? It's really understandable. And here, inside of the function, okay, because all of these settings event is a completely new stuff, we must define another thing, and that's apply changes, not changes. Yeah, changes, parentheses, these two dots, and that's all. Okay, we set this event parameter again, and we are gonna get the X preview and the Y preview, okay, and that's about what is the X and Y scale saying. And according to it, this X label, I mean this X and Y label, are gonna be edit with this configure with this new value x per view, okay, that is the x scale, and the y per view, that is what is that y scale say. And now we must just repeat, okay, time label place and date place are accord to these numbers, okay, here x per view and over here also, while y per view are over here, okay, and that's all. But if for now you are not noticing those changes, it's because we don't have this bind, or basically this attribute that is assigning this action called motion, okay, with this function. So motion is like moving something, okay, and while doing that, on this settings window, this apply changes is gonna be activated, and we get all of this stuff. It's preview, get that number, and just apply it with this text besides of the x and y position on the labels. So running this, we can get our widget moving. Okay, so sorry seriously because it is not flowing so well, but as you work on the project, you will see, okay, that it is flowing well, and on the program in general is running well. Why does this happen? Because I am on a laptop and recording, obviously. My PC resources are not the best ones, but we got what we want. At this point we are almost there, and we must only do some stuff. The first one is to solve that ugly position of the button. We're gonna do it right now, okay, while creating the function of updating the clock. Just as you see, it is just showing the time on which we open the program, not the time constantly getting updated by 1 second. The second one, and a bit harder, is to introduce the functionality of changing, okay, the font family of our program according to what the user wants actually. So let's get right into it first. We must just adjust here, okay, path y, no path x, and here I will define this function over here, okay, define update clock here, dots. Here down below we write time label config and date label configure with a text that is format time. It's basically a loop where this function is again getting what these two ones are saying. We mean format time and format date. And here we must again set after an update clock. And that's all. We are making a loop. Depending on the easy manner, it's updating the clock, okay, getting again that format time and format date, and applying it to the time and date label, and the screen after 1 second, this thing is gonna be activated, okay? And again and again and again. Here down below we copy this and we set it on the main application, okay, on the main code. And finally we are gonna create the last function related with changing the font family according to the user's preference, as I said before. Okay, so for now we must write def in font, and that's all. 2 dots again, and we're gonna start with the try and except statements. That these are used for try is do something, and if this does not happen, go for the except. Very easy. Here is actually, okay, try something, and if it does not happen, the error will be printed, okay, on the terminal. So exception as e print here comma e. And that's all. Fixing this grammar mistake, we get this, and that's all. And it's summarized as a, okay, so as a variable. And print, it will say you've got this error, comma a. Comma is just for separating this string and then to set this variable. So the input, to get the input that the user wrote, okay, as an example, if they want that the new font family is gonna be Arial, okay, that is what we are getting, and then config, okay, time label dot config is for making some changes. The font is gonna be a new font. Basically, what are they saying? And the default size is obviously 100. While here, the new font is gonna be the same, but obviously we're gonna write here the default size divided by 3, just for keeping the same size and updating these new values. Okay, just for making the difference and saying that this new position is the initial position, we must assignate this scale here with this scale value. We must assignate with the value of this, okay, of this scale according to the setting. So right here is scale.get, and that's all. This is the value that is saying. The same thing works with the while value. And now here just place again. That's all. despite that these two lines are not necessary, we are doing this again for not making this a new place right here as an illusion. Also for using these new scale values, okay, that is the same thing that we are indicating now with our scale. And do you remind that we said screen geometry flexible string 1920 times 1080 HD, etc. with plus the x scale and y scale value? Okay, that's because here, waiting what this scale says and this new value, etc. We'll add this new value. And really it doesn't matter, you can let it this and nothing will happen because the screen is transparent, but just for enduring the syntax, okay, of solidifying as you want to call it. And really for finishing, we're gonna add some logical features. For example, now if new font is over here, it's not equal to the initial font that is on Boba Milky, the initial font family will be the new font. So if these are unequal, the new font is gonna be the initial font. If these are equal, okay, nothing will change because it is obvious. We must actually reserve some energy. We are gonna write new variables that these are called initial x scale value and initial y scale value that also are 0. And here we can set the second and last logical state. If initial scale value is not equal to a scale x scale value, or initial y scale value is not equal to the y scale value, okay, the current actually, something will happen, and that is that it's gonna be updated. And that's all. Seriously, that's all. Just analyze it a bit. If this initial, okay, the initial is always 0. No, the initial is always 0, okay? It's not equal to the x scale value that at the beginning is 0, but it can change along the user's preference. It will change. Otherwise, it will not because it's not necessary. Those are 0. And the same thing with the y scale value. If not, this initial x is gonna be the same that x scale value just for updating things. And that's all. Settings window here. Okay, we finished with this line called settings Windows destroy, okay, as a function, just for ensuring that when we close the window, everything will finish properly. So here we get a fumble milk position here and here. We can set it whatever, however we want. At this point, if everything goes well, for example, Arial, no, okay. Settings is required for substitution environment and that. Here it's not working because we must actually set this change font right here. Change font right here. And here we don't have to add this event parameter. Okay, and at this point, when we write over here Arial, for example, now and change its position, we get what we want. Arial is really ugly, but it does not matter. And the really last thing that we must do is just to change the position of the widget. And I mean of the date label, because it is not working well. And let me try here. And this is the main position, by the way, like on the first time that we open the program. So I will add 55, for example, on the x value, while on the y value it's gonna be here plus, I don't know, 135. While on the other cases it's gonna be the same thing, okay, because the integers are gonna be kept. And we set the integer function just to turn all of this process, okay, mathematical process, basically into a number. Because if we don't turn it into a number, we will get just an error saying that it's not a number and it must be an integer. Once done this, I consider that it's everything seriously that it resulted well. Okay, so here I don't know, I will have some fonts to try, and that's gonna be here Kristen TC, and it looks pretty. Cannot access to local initial for family. Okay, it is not on my computer. It's not on my computer. Okay, but it doesn't matter. We will try another one called Fix Assist, and we get this beautiful font. It looks pretty. Okay, and that's now we actually finished. We don't have to do anything else. But if you want to turn this program into a real widget, okay, into an application that we can open whenever we want, just stay here, okay, because the tutorial actually finished. But we can level up our skills with a post game, if we want to call it so. So let's turn this into an .x file and set it on the startup of our PC, which in reality I have, okay, a tutorial that you can get it here down below on the description or the pinned comment about turning .py files to .x, okay, but we are gonna do it here as fast as we can, okay, not explaining it too much, but you can check that tutorial. Moreover, adding the fact of setting it under a startup to see our clock widget always and to be proud of really, okay, I made this thing, and press the Windows plus E keyboards, okay, to open the file explorer and locate us on the folder we are working with. Next, open the command prompt cmd, as you want to call it. Okay, go into the location of the folder and write in cmd. We look like hackers, but it's not so much related with it. And write this command, okay, pip install PyInstaller to install the program that we are gonna use to do this process. For me, it's obviously already satisfied because I already have it, but if you don't, it will be installed, and by that we can use actually this command. PyInstaller chronosmass.py --1 file -w-y clock png, where respectively it is indicating the program that we are using, the name of the file that we are gonna convert into .x. This --1 file is to make one file, while this -w is not for showing the terminal window when we open up the program, and these two final words are for the icon. I committed some mistakes, but it doesn't matter. Here, chronosmass. Write the name of your file. Okay, for now it's chronosmass, but I committed some mistakes, but it doesn't matter, it has to be a .py file. While, okay, in this case I don't have an image, an specific image for the clock, so we will use the Cipheros icon for now. Okay, right here, Cipheros. Okay, in this case this is the name of the icon that we are gonna use, and press enter, and the process will be done by itself or without doing nothing. And I forgot the antivirus. Okay, you can also do that and nothing will happen. Trust me that nothing will happen. I did this process many times, and I don't know why your PC detects it as like a virus, but nothing. But you can perfectly enable it after finish of the process. So once done this, we can close, go right here on the file explorer, and then as you see, two new folders were created, where the cold one, this is the most important. As you see, it has the same icon, okay, but here is chronosmass. We are actually getting what we want, and make sure of having all the stuff that you want to use, okay, so for now it's this icon, and that's all actually. Move all the repositories that you need and open up this program. We get our widget. I don't know why, and it's not working because the folder, it must be clock .icon. Okay, so we must actually replicate this, no, clock here, and it must be in the folder and open in chronosmass. We are getting actually what we want. Open on the program, we get this boba milky, and here I will try another one that is called here. Oh. Now, I invite you to watch the entire tutorial on the description, okay, because I already said where many applications and .x files are located in. So if you want to understand it, so go there, press the Windows plus R, and you will get this program called run, okay, and write shell 2 startup. For me, it already appears because I almost use it all the time. So shell startup, press OK, and this file explorer location will appear. These are the applications that automatically run when you turn off your PC. Okay, for me, it's just Cloaky. Okay, it's an application that I built for automatizing some manual actions. Okay, with key presses and on the sleep, but on my sleep time. Okay, just consider it for automatizing some repetitive tasks on your life that you are not gonna change for a bunch of time. And yeah, just move this shortcut over here, and that's all. When you turn on your PC, your screen will get the widget that we just built. And yes, Cipheros, it sounds great. We got our widget program and made all the necessary adjustments to make it look professionally with a shortcut, located the file on the program x86. That it was a skip for this tutorial because I want that you watch the other tutorial, okay. But basically we did it. We applied many Python concepts along all the project, and Tkinter was the use library which helped us on creating a graphical user interface program with tons of functions inside of one to the other, etc., and using parameters, attributes, and integrate values, just for having a beautiful decoration on our PC that it's customizable. We conclude this video, okay, and this long video, I don't know if it is, with a successful result. Also, we acquire a lot of knowledge. Well done and congratulations by arriving to this the point and doing the second part of the post game of this tutorial. We don't have to say anything else because everything was already explained on this word. We developed problem solving skills and syntax on this word. So goodbye. Make sure to subscribe to the channel.